Most boat trailer axles are not mass produced as far as from an axle manufacturer. A lot of them are made in-house using rectangular tubing and or square tubing. Somebody pulled the eject button on this wheel and tire assembly. You can see we've lost every stud on it. I got 4 words for you. Check your lug nuts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a jet ski trailer. If you are lucky enough to own a jet ski, boat trailer, or any other marine trailer, you will likely see yourself in the situation that we're going to go work on right now. We have a jet ski trailer that decided just to kick one of its wheels and tires off down the road. May have been the lug nuts, I don't know. But we are gonna work on that dude out in the parking lot where the wrecker dropped it off, because I thought, hey, we'll keep ourselves humble and we'll just do a little parking lot repair in the gravel today just to keep it real. So we're gonna drag all of our crap out there and we're gonna get this off and see if we can get it replaced. So come with me. As you can see here, these guys were headed to the lake for a fun-filled day of jet skiing, but somebody pulled the eject button on this wheel and tire assembly, and let's just say it may be still headed to the lake or stuck in the front grille of somebody's Ferrari. Not real sure, didn't find it. We're gonna utilize the spare tire to put back on there when we make this repair. So here we lost the wheels, so it sheared all the studs off. I have a pretty good idea what caused that. It tore the fender up, fender bracket. The wrecker tore the light up, I believe, which is not uncommon. These are hard to load, so I'll need a new light, some wiring. And what we're gonna show you today is just how to make a roadside repair on this and just to get it to a repair facility or back to your house to finish the fender and all of that. So let's look down here at this hub. You can see we've lost every stud on it. Usually what causes that is a loose wheel from either having a spare changed or just hadn't been retightened. It is an aluminum wheel, so it is much more susceptible to coming loose due to the way the aluminum contracts and expands. Not sure why it came off, but that's the reason. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna jack this up. We're gonna support it with the jack stand. If you have blocks, whatever you have, just to stay safe. If you're pulling around a trailer, especially any type of marine trailer, you need to have your little toolkit with you. I would recommend keeping some spare parts and stuff around with you as well. Don't need a whole lot, just some basic tools. Recommend a good pair of leather gloves in case it's hot. But let's get this pulled off. Before we pull this hub assembly off, I got 4 words for you. Check your lug nuts. These lug nuts, they're gone. The wheel and tire is gone and they ain't coming back. So let's pull this off. So I'm gonna show you right now, one thing you could do, you could drive these studs out. This being an idler hub, it's easy, and drive new studs in if you can find the studs. This is an import axle. It's gonna be a little tougher to find the studs. Also, this one, the wheel got loose and it has some wear and some problems on the front of it, so it's not a good flat surface. So for the price of the hub compared to what the studs would cost, I'm gonna recommend just replacing the whole unit. Many times you can find this already pre-packed with grease in it, ready to go. It may not have marine grease in it, but it's gonna have a good enough grease in it so you can get it to a repair facility or get it back to your house. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove the dust cap, but it's already gone because it went with the wheel. Then we're gonna remove the cotter key. It may have other types of retainers in there. Cotter key is very common. And we're not worried about saving this cotter key. Cotter keys are cheap. Get you a new one. So cotter key out. Take the nut loose. It's loose, which is not uncommon. So have our nut and our washer, slide it forward, get the bearing, and now we have the whole thing off. You're going to put your nut and washer back on there. Here's the important part. When you go to the parts store, take all that stuff with you. And I'm going to tell you why. If you decide you just want to replace the studs, take it with you so they can knock the stud out and match it up, because they make a ton of different size studs, especially the knurl that goes in here, different sizes, whether it's import, domestic. So take that with you. The other important thing is to take your bearings, especially on marine applications. Many times they have bearing setups that are not the same as utility trailer setups. They'll have different inner and outer bearings. Sometimes the inner and outer are the same, sometimes they're not. So take this stuff with you. Take everything here with you to the parts store in order to help those guys find what you need, get what you need, and get you back on the road. If you were in a situation like this on the side of the road and you lost a bearing, let's say, it tore the bearing up, and you know you're not going to be able to get a bearing number, I know you're not going to do this, but jack your other side up as well. Take the good bearings out of that hub and take them with you, and hopefully you'll be able to find what you need. I will tell you something I do see more than I'd like to say. In the marine trailer axle business, it is not uncommon to have a pretty new trailer that's never been touched that will have two different spindles on it where they were made at the factory. Most boat trailer axles are not mass produced as far as from an axle manufacturer. A lot of them are made in-house using rectangular tubing and or square tubing, and they'll use whatever spindles they can find. We see that all the time, or we'll see one where somebody's ruined a spindle, had somebody put a spindle on it, and they'll have mixed match spindles. The hub, the tire setup, all that's the same, but they'll be different. So it is a possibility, but help your parts guys out. Or if you're going to a big box store, you can take this with you. There's numbers you can get off of this. You'll need to pop that back seal out and get that rear bearing out of there as well in order to get the correct hub. And also it's important on the bolt pattern. On a 5-lug bolt pattern like this, you have 4 options. You have 5 on 4.5, 5 on 4 3/4, 5 on 5, and 5 on 5.5. A couple of those are starting to kind of obsolete. It's really going to go to 5 on 4.5 and 5 on 5 eventually, but there's still a ton of 5 on 5.5 and 5 on 4 3/4 out there in the world. So let's grab our parts, let's hop in the minivan, and let's head to the parts store. Come go with me. And look at the parts. Surely these guys are going to have what I need. All right, see if we can find somebody. Please push here for help. That's definitely going to cost me. Hello? Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Smiley at your service. I was in the back stocking some parts. What can we do for you? How can we help you? Smiley, I am hoping you can help me, man. I am in a bind. We were headed to the lake. Got a jet ski trailer. I know I haven't tightened my lug nuts, but don't tell my wife. Just keep that between you and I. But because I haven't tightened my lug nuts, I have lost my wheel and my tire, and I'm pretty sure this thing here is trash. I went ahead and took it off, had me some pliers in the truck. Can we fix it, or do I have to replace it? You know, I don't know. I hope you can help me out with that. Do we know each other? You look familiar. You sure we don't know each other? You probably just have one of those faces like I do, one of them good-looking faces that everybody thinks they know you. But regardless, that being said, I need to get back on the road. I heard you're the place to be. So you think you got one of these in stock? Can you go check for me? Man, I think we're gonna be able to fix you up. It looks just like a basic 3500, but you never know on marine applications. Sometimes they use a different bearing setup, bolt pattern. Let's check the bolt pattern first. I do appreciate you bringing your parts in. That makes my life a lot easier. That is a 5 on 4.5, so that's common. So that's going to help. Some of these they don't make anymore. It was great you brought your bearing in and left the back together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run to the shop. I'm going to pop this rear seal out to get a bearing ID off of here. And then we'll see if we have a pre-box that we can sell you, or see if nothing else, we'll have the separate components. So I'll be right back. Just hang tight. Take a break, and we'll get you back on the road. You are in luck, man. I've got one that's pre-boxed, so that means it's going to be a pre-packed. It is just a standard 3,500 pound axle setup. That makes it easy. So this have everything in here you need. We're going to go ahead and open it though, just to make sure it's not a mixed box. Miss box. You get one of those every once in a while. So So this should come with pretty much everything you need. So we're going to check the bolt pattern just to be on the safe side, because I have seen sometimes they don't get the right one in there, so that's correct. It's got your dust caps. Sometimes these come with cotter keys and retainers. What did yours have on it? Have a cotter key? Okay, let me go grab you a cotter key. I don't see one in there. I'm gonna give you a couple of cotter keys, but it does have, like I said, both dust caps and your lug nuts. The one thing it doesn't have is marine grease in it. This grease is good. It's got a good rating on it. It will last you some time, but I would recommend when you get it home or get it to a repair facility, if you have any other damage on there, go ahead and have them repack this with marine grease, or if you have the bearing buddy set up, go ahead and replace that. But at least this will get you off the road and get you home or to your destination. Do you want some grease, like just small tube of grease? Man, I really do appreciate all the help. I'm gonna get this stuff boxed up and I'm gonna get out of here, get back with my family, get this thing put back together. Can you throw this away for me? I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. This may make a good trout line weight. I'm thinking about taking up fishing anyway, so I'll hang on to that. Are you sure we don't know each other? You look familiar. All right, man, I appreciate, hey, do you know of anybody that has like a YouTube channel that I could watch how to reinstall this so I get it correctly? I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to be broke down again. Do you have anybody you can recommend? Man, it's funny you should ask. I do know somebody has a YouTube channel. The weird thing is he kind of looks like you. Other than the Hawaiian shirt and the Baja hat, some of the same characteristics. That's weird, but it's the TrailerSmith. Check him out on YouTube and we will see you next time. All right, man, I'll check him out. I appreciate it. And again, let me get my stuff here and I'm out of here. Good luck, man. Have fun on the water. So we made it back from the parts store with everything we need. Here's gonna be one of the hardest things to do if you're doing this on the side of the road is keeping dirt and gravel out of your new install. With this setup here, everything is bagged. So we're gonna utilize that. We're gonna leave that stuff in the bag and we're gonna utilize our box to catch any grease so we don't get it on the ground or somebody's parking lot. Put some paper towels in there. We're gonna use this as an area to clean up our components and to keep our tools clean. So we're gonna wipe all this old gunk off of there. Just make sure you don't have any gravel or any junk in the threads of that. If you do, just clean that out. At this point, you can spray this off with a brake cleaner, or if you're planning on taking this back off when you get home to put some marine grease in there to repack it, you're good to go. Just stick it on there. So I'm not gonna spray this off because after this video, we will tear this completely back down, repack with marine grease. So it's good to go into the water. So with that being said, I'm gonna take my tools here, my channel locks that have grease all over them. I'm gonna wipe them down with paper towels. And if I need to, I'm gonna spray them off. Most of your parts stores are gonna have a brake clean that you can pick up. So now we're gonna open our hub assembly. So these are already pre-packed with grease. I would recommend buying a small tube of grease just to put some on the spindle. You don't have to. You can get by without it, but I'm gonna recommend putting some on here. You can't over-grease these, but you can sure under-grease them as well. Now we're gonna slip our new hub on. Okay. You know, something to keep in your emergency repair kit would be some nitrile or latex gloves. I'm not a fan of latex. I like the black lightning nitrile when you can find them. So now that we've got the bearing pushed in there, we're gonna make sure our washer is clean. And then check our nut out. It's got a little junk on it, so we're gonna give it a little cleaning. Let that dry off so we don't thin the grease out. Finger tighten it as far as you can. Double check your channel locks or your wrench, whatever you're using. So now we're going to tighten the nut, and this is very specific on how you tighten the nut. You can't under or over tighten this. So we're going to set the bearing thrust on here. So while we're tightening the nut clockwise, we're going to be spinning this counterclockwise until we get the nut completely bottomed out or tight. Okay, it's completely tight. Now we're gonna back off the nut without moving the hub and relieve pressure. So basically a full turn. Now we're gonna go back and bottom the nut out one more time without moving this. If it moves a little bit, you're good. So now at this point, if you've remembered where your cotter key hole is, that will be helpful. We're gonna back this off 1/4 to 3/8 of a turn. This nut has 12 castellations in it, so you have multiple positions. You can really get a fine tune on the nut. Right there is good. This set here does come with our cotter key, I hope. Maybe not. This set does not come with their cotter key. Usually there's a cotter key in there, so check your parts before you leave. And that's another good thing to have in your emergency toolkit is just some extra cotter keys. So I'm gonna go grab a cotter key, we'll put that in and we'll get this wrapped up. I always like to keep a handful of cotter keys close to me in case I get in this situation. So get out of your bulk cotter key supply. We're gonna drop that cotter key in. And remember, on the cotter key, you have two different links. I don't know if you can see that. You have one that's longer than the other. Put the long one out to the front. We're gonna grab that long piece, maybe. We're gonna bend it all the way up. Then we're gonna cut this one just about flush with the castle nut, just so it doesn't contact the grease cap. So this does come with 2 grease caps, one for easy lube, one for non-easy lube. This is a non-easy lube. So you have a couple options. You can beat this on right here, but you're going to ruin the dust cap when you do that. So if you keep you a chisel, a punch, a flathead screwdriver, just whatever you get, so that you can just tap this dude back on. They make some installers that you've seen in some of our videos. This is the old-fashioned way. Works fine. I did this for I've done this for a lot more years without an install tool. And if you have a good sharp chisel, you can always turn this around. Just do what you gotta do to get this on there. Okay, we are seated on. We're wiping the excess grease off. So now we're good to go. We're good to put the tire back on the trailer, get home, get on the road before it gets dark. And like I said, I would recommend going and packing this with marine grease if you're in and out of the water a lot. If you don't go to the lake a lot with this, the red grease will do fine. You just may get some water in there. If you have the bearing buddy set up on there, you're gonna wanna replace that when you get it back home, or have the repair shop of your choice replace that. We'll leave some links in the description below of some of the stuff we used on here, some of the tools. Remember, leave comments, leave us some video ideas. We've had some great ones here lately. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you like our videos. We have a lot of stuff coming out, and we will see you soon. Man, I cannot believe me of all people that forgot. When you put that tire on, tighten the lug nuts. In 25, 50, 75, or 125 miles, whatever the manufacturer recommends for your axle and trailer, re-tighten the lug nuts. Then do it again. Then check them in a couple weeks and do it again. Don't want to leave the wheel. Let's get this dude done, get it finished.